In more than 16 years within a managerial role, Schlida has led large and geographical dispersed projects, teams effectively within the medical, pharmaceutical, defense, contracting, and financial services industry. Schlida began her career as a test engineer with a BS in engineering, graphic and design from Western Michigan University. Later, she moved into a design engineering and eventually into a project management, where her professional skills flourished. Schlida excelled as an engineering program manager after completing her Master's of Science degree in product development from Northwestern University. Her core competencies are highly transferable and included, but are not limited to public speaking, relationship building, IT, integration management, and project planning. Schlida has successfully acquired over $30 million in contracts by offering improved software functionalities, technical tools, depot repair services, spare products, customizable products, and engineering services. Ooh, she bad. She bad, baby. You can find Schlida working as a senior IT consultant within the financial services industry. I forgot one thing. She texted me. She wanted to mention that she's a proud sister of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Miss Schlida Young.
Good morning. I was listening like, who's she talking about? It's amazing and it's so humbling to hear somebody reflect on your skills. Wow, I'm kind of impressed myself. So that's nothing but the blessings of God. As we get started here, ladies on a mission. This is so impressive. I'm blown back here. All these beautiful women in the room. Thriving in corporate America. What does that mean? It means thinking about how you're gonna grow. It means being proactive in what you wanna do. It means thinking about a vision for yourself versus just surviving in corporate America. Surviving in corporate America is when you're reacting to everything. You're not quite sure what you wanna do and you're just letting it happen. So my goal today, as Dr. Jones says, my mission today is to make sure you shift your focus, if you haven't already, to thrive in corporate America. You can hit the next slide. We're going to start off by talking about personal branding. If you don't have a personal brand, I encourage you to have one, because if you do not set a personal brand for yourself, your actions will let someone else set it for you. So thriving in corporate America and branding. When you think of these names, tell me what it invokes in you. When you think of Kanye West, I know these people may not be in corporate America, but when you hear their names, it triggers something, right? Kanye West, it invokes something. Donald Trump, his personal brand, it invokes something. When you think about the 44th president of the United States, President Barack Obama, it invokes something in you. What about Einstein, Hitler? When you hear the names, they all have a personal brand. And that's what you want people to do. You want people to have a reaction to you. But when they have that reaction, you want it to be something that's positive. When I said Donald Trump, his personal brand is not positive. And you don't want that to be for you. So shifting that energy around to you. When you walk into the building at your company, what are they saying about you? You need to make it intentional. You need to make it personal, okay? Go to the next slide, please. Still talking about personal brand. Let's get some examples. So you need to create a quick vision for yourself. A vision is something where it's where you want to be. It's the future. It's someday. You also need to have a mission. Your mission is how the present will get you to the future. That's every day. Case in point. My vision for me is very simple. As a consultant, add value. Add value. That's my Sunday. Every day. I'm thinking add value. That's my Sunday. What I'm doing with my mission every day is I'm collaborating, I'm communicating, I'm working effectively with my customers. Case in point. If I'm dealing with a very stressful situation in an IT environment, we always are problem solving. It's moving at a very fast pace. There's a lot of tension in the room. If I'm in the middle of that situation, I'm instantly thinking about my vision. Okay, to get to my vision, how am I adding value? My mission is in this moment, this space and time, let me collaborate, let me communicate. is all going on in the back of my head because you want to come off as with your most level of respect, but you want to do it where you're also conveying your thoughts. So my mission, every time, what's going on, real time, collaborating, communicating, am I hearing this person? So then at the end of all that, we're done with the meeting, did I add value? That's my Sunday, that's my future. And I want to walk away from the experience and say, I added value. Recently, in my role, I just shifted from working on one project to something that is basically a mess, and they want me to clean it up. And one of the lead developers, when he heard I was leaving, he pinged me or IM'd me and said, no, I'm not letting you go. I'm not saying goodbye. You're going to keep working with me. That was my confirmation that I added value to his organization. And that's what I want you guys to have. Be intent, be personal branding, make it personal to you. Next slide. Still talking about personal branding. I gave the example already of mine with adding value, but I wanted to, branding in general, even though it's personal branding versus a company branding, I use the company here, it's still the same thing. But I wanted to give you another example. Disney, their Sunday is make people happy. Their mission to get to that make people happy is entertain, inform, inspire. That's what they're doing anytime they're interacting with you. And there are some days when you laugh or you enjoy that moment, they made you happy. It's that simple. So I encourage you to have a personal brand for yourself. I see a young lady taking pictures. Please take pictures of this stuff. And if you want these slides, I'll be more than happy to share them with you. So at the end of the day, I have cards. I'll be more than happy to share this with you. 5 ways to build your personal brand. Say yes to relevant opportunities. For example, I was at the gym going in to work out, and someone said they're looking for a speaker. I was like, I'll do it. I knew coming here, I was hoping that God would use me to bless someone else's life, and in the same moment, it would help me build my personal brand. So when you see opportunities that can help you in your career field, say yes to them. Speak at conferences, another way to build up your personal brand. Ask one question every meeting you attend. If you are shy, this is a very good suggestion for you early in your career. If you're more seasoned, it shifts from just asking a question to providing solutions. So be conscious of that. Network internally beyond your immediate team. If you only right now are comfortable with people in your immediate group, I challenge you to step beyond that. Meet new people, join organizations, connect with people to build your personal brand. Share your voice with influencers. If you, again, in your professional career, you can take a product or service, for instance, project management, they use Microsoft Project. I can go online, create a YouTube video about it, and talk about the functionalities and features. That's where influencers live. Shifting from personal brand to mastering your craft. Mastering your craft. I wanted to start off with telling a personal story here about my friend Angela Key, who's actually in the room. Thank you so much for coming out. When you talk about someone who's thriving in corporate America, this is one extraordinary case of someone who's doing it well. And the reason why I wanted to use her under this category of mastering your craft, I met Angela back in August of 2015. Coincidentally, we started working for the same company on the same day. So we instantly had a connection. And when I met her, I remember first week she said to me, I'm working on my bachelor's degree. I'll have it in a few months. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. She's working on her bachelor's degree, all right. And in a few months, she got it. And at the time, she was working as an operations assistant. She was thriving, but the company was not taking advantage of her skill set. And then she says, I'm working on my master's. I'll have it in 2 years. And I'm like, you don't want to take a break? I'm not taking a break. I'm going to have my master's in 2 years. So what did she do? She left, still working on her master's. She went to another company. They made her a compliance manager. She went from being an operations assistant to a compliance manager to having people report into her. Why? Because even though one company may not recognize your value, if you're thriving and doing what you're supposed to do, you move on, you keep set with your goals, and you find someone that will appreciate who you are. And that's what she's doing. She is an extraordinary case of someone thriving in corporate America. And what's so beautiful about about this is, not only are they recognizing her skill sets where she's at right now, they said to her, I want to clone you. I would like for us to have people like you in the Carolinas. We want you to be in Dallas. She has options now because she's thriving in corporate America. She's being intentful, she's being purposeful, and she's setting goals. And that's what mastering your craft is about. It's about setting goals, vocalizing it, having purpose and intent. Next slide, please. So when it comes to mastering your craft, it ties right back to your personal branding. First of all, success. Everybody's definition of success is different. Define what success means to you, not what it means to your friend, no one else. My definition of success is the ability to travel. If I can do that as often as I possibly can, that's my definition. For someone else, it might mean something else, right? Envision yourself already successful. If you are in the survival mode and not thrive mode, start envisioning this. Start here. You don't know where to start with nothing else. Start here. Start being purposeful. Start envisioning where you want to be. Seek to incorporate your passion. If you're working and you're just going to work, think about it. You're spending anywhere from 6 to 10 hours a day working. Why not be in a field where you're passionate about it? Or at least like it? You ever got a job description like, I'll do it, but that's boring. But they'll pay me, I'll do it. Versus, ooh, that sounds like fun. How many people right now have goals set? That's awesome to hear. What I challenge you with this is have a plan for 1, 3, and 5 years, okay? Then take those goals and put them in a place that you can see all the time. It doesn't have to be some long sheet, and I actually challenge you to keep it short because you want to keep looking at it. You want to reinforce and remind yourself about the goals. Write them down, review them often, stay focused, and verbalize your goals. Angela, she kept telling me, I'm working on my bachelor's, I'm working on my master's. She was not playing. I saw her in action, and she vocalized them all the time, okay? Next slide, please. Sharpen the saw. If you wrote down your goals, you're working on your goals, you're having them, then you need to keep elevating yourself to the next level. Remember, we're thriving in corporate America. We're growing, we're flourishing. We want to go be the best we possibly can be. So knowing that we've already met and we checking off our goals, you sharpen the saw. How do you do that? Practice your skills. If you want to be in public speaking, get out and speak. Get over the edge, speak. Obtain a certification. If you've been in your career for a while, but you always want to stay marketable because technology, the medical field is always changing, get a certification and make you stand above everyone else. Take continuous education courses. There's always stuff you can learn online to help you be a better you in your corporate environment. Consult and volunteer. Get out there. If your company is not giving you an opportunity to really show what you're capable of, you can go out and do it for free and spend time with people. You can also consult and charge. You can find that happy medium. So think about that if you haven't already. Join a professional society. It's something that's related to you. Birds of a feather flock together. There's no better way to learn than from someone else who's already in your environment. You can play off of each other, learn things from each other, collaborate with each other. Challenge yourself at home and work. If you want to be a singer and you're not singing, then how are you challenging yourself, right? Again, thriving versus just surviving. Next slide, please. So, you're mastering your craft and you're at a crossroads. What do you do? What does this even mean? This is all about options. This is where you have your vision, you have your mission, you're out there, and now you're at a point, well, I got these options in front of me. Should I go down path A or should I go down path B? I'm nervous to go down these paths, so what should I do? Let me share a personal story with you. Back in 2002, I am really dating myself. Back in 2002, I was working as a design engineer. And minding my own business, my director walked up to me, Eric Lindbergh, one of my favorite people to ever work with. And he says, Schlida, have you considered being a project manager? My initial response to him, my body language was something like, No. But my insides were, huh? What? A project manager that requires me to speak? No, I'm not interested. But what I told him was like, no, I haven't considered it. And he says, think about it. Think about it and come back to me. I took a few days, I thought about it. I went back to him and I said, I'm interested, but can I take a few months? He told me to take 6 months. He wasn't in a rush. He saw the potential and he thought I would be interested. My problem was I was scared. I was fearful beyond belief to speak in front of anybody. I was so afraid to speak in front of anybody that any and every situation, you would not get me to speak at all because the butterflies were too overwhelming. But I knew this was a path that I wanted to go down because it was a different opportunity and a challenge for me. So I took 6 months, set my goal, started putting together a plan for me to overcome the fear. And the way I did that was, I said to myself, I need to join Toastmasters. Toastmasters is a speaking organization that will allow me to practice my skill in a friendly environment. I said to myself that, well, I'm scared to speak, so how do you get over speaking? You keep speaking. And I set a goal, and I should have put a time limit on it. I didn't, so I'm still on that goal. And the goal was any and every time someone asks me to speak, I am going to speak. And after umpteen years of doing that, I do not have butterflies at all whatsoever. And I always ask God, use me in that moment to do your will, Lord. Use me to help someone else see something in me that can help them be a better person. And so that's how I overcame it. That's how I got to this crossroads of, should I become a project manager or should I continue to do design engineer work? I took the path of becoming a design engineer. And what this did for me was, it gave me options. When you start getting in your career and you come to these crossroads and you're dealing with stressful situations and you don't know which path to go, you have options in front of you. This is a good problem to have. If you don't go down a path because you're scared, that is not doing yourself justice. That is not thriving, that is surviving. But if you don't go down a path because it's not a right fit, that's thriving. That's acceptable. It is unacceptable for you when you say, I define myself with this level of success, but you don't take the road to take you to success. Then are you doing yourself justice? And it's okay if you're not ready, but it's not okay to sit there and 20 years later to say, I didn't live up to my potential. So reflect on that. Next slide, please. Again, give yourself options. If both options fail, which one will you be glad you tried? So that's how you deal with crossroads and thriving in corporate America. Next slide, please. Negotiating your salary. All right. Let me see if I can tell another short story, and then I'm going to give you some examples. 1998, right out of college, I had two options in front of me. Work in Michigan, go to California. I had two offers in front of me. I was like, Michigan, okay. California, what? I took the California path. I did more research, I did a little research, but I signed on the dotted line, took California path, went out there. Thought I was doing it. First month out there, driving in my new car, like, yeah, money ain't a thing.
Money ain't a thing.
Then I started adding up those expenses. And I realized I was grossly underpaid. During that time, I never shared this with my mom. She's hearing this for the first time. I was like, okay, how did this happen? I was grossly underpaid by $20,000. Once I started doing my research, once I started looking at the company's ban, I was so underpaid. I was pissed. But here's what's so funny. I had an office, and in this company in Silicon Valley, they give engineers office. They let managers take keys. It was a very cool environment. I played as a test engineer, video games all day. I had the coolest job ever, but they were not paying me well. And when I realized that, very naive, I went to my manager, put together a whole case, told him why he should pay me more. I'm adding all this value, I'm doing all this stuff. And he goes, I understand, but there's nothing I can do. because I had already signed on the dotted line. So I am pissed. And I was so upset until I saw this one quote. It said, "You are not paid according to what you're worth. You are paid according to what you negotiate."
Yeah.
Big light bulb moment. That was the last time I was ever underpaid, because I started negotiating my salary, and I can tell you now, they paying me well.
Yeah.
Not flat. Please let me know how I'm doing on time. I want to give you some scenarios here around negotiating your salary. Five minutes? Okay. I think I can do it in 5 minutes. Thank you for that. So with this, I want to give you some tips around negotiation. But let me also give you a few statistics. They say only 30% of women will even bother to negotiate a salary. So let me put that into something quantifiable for you. If you start out at the age of 20 to the age of 65 and you do not ever negotiate your salary, you are leaving $2 million on the table. That's how drastic it is. So you need to empower yourself to thrive in corporate America, but not just making sure you're setting up your personal goals, but thrive to make sure they are compensating you well. So let me just point out a couple of things. Research your salaries. Make sure you understand exactly where you fall. Make sure you are at the highest end of the band meaning range. If your company says as a business development person, you should be making between 40 to 60K, you should be between 50 and 60, meaning your skill sets need to be aligned. So when you're fighting and trying to negotiate your salary, make sure your skill sets are aligned. So do your research, anticipate a counter offer. When you go through negotiations, there's the song and dance. If they're coming low and you're coming high, anticipate that you're going to fall into the middle. So for instance, if you're thinking, I'm supposed to make 50K, that means you need to start off with 60. And then they're going to come at 35, 40, and hopefully you'll meet in the middle. But it's that middle ground that you're trying to get to. Compromise and appear to be flexible when you're negotiating. Okay, this is what I was just saying about going high, going low, finding some place in the middle, that back and forth. You only do some counter offers a few times. They throw something out on the table, you throw something out on the table, and then you do one or two back and forth. You don't go back and forth too many times. You must already have your strategic plan in place. I actually wish I could spend about an hour on this. I'm rushing through this, so if there's an opportunity to speak on this again, I would love to. Understand your limits, meaning if you know you are an entry-level person, you can't go in and ask for 20K, and they're giving you some, like they're talking about 30, you're talking about 60. So understand when you can and cannot negotiate, okay? Have a BATNA. BATNA is the best alternative to the negotiated agreement. What that means is, before you even start negotiating, you know walking into the room what your minimum is. You know walking into the room, if they go too low, no matter what they say, you're going to have to walk away. That helps you to go into the room for negotiations, knowing what your comfort level is. Don't be in the middle of a situation going, I don't know if it's a good idea for me. Let me give you an example. If you know walking into the room, your bare minimum is $32,000 is what you will accept, and they say $31,500. You know you're walking away. Yeah, it's that little difference, but you already crunched the numbers before you walked into the room. That's what a BATNA is. Getting to yes. This is one of the most powerful books I've ever read when it comes to negotiation. Getting to yes, I actually believe I saw it online for $2, a used version, but I think it costs like about $7. Negotiating agreements without giving in. One of the most powerful books. So if you're interested in negotiations, definitely check that out. I want to give you another example. What's on the next slide? Let's see. Okay. I want to give you another example really quick on if you're dealing with recruiters, a very cool technique you can use. If you are, you're talking to a recruiter and they say, how much do you make? The thing is, the way you get around that is you answer a question with a question. The first person to blink is setting the tone. That means if you start, then I already know. I want you to start with the number because then I know where I'm coming from to adjust. So if they say, how much do you make? It doesn't matter what I make. It about to make you. But you don't say it like that. You say, how much is the range for this position? You answer a question with a question. Because how many of you been in that situation? You're like, I don't want to tell them because if I do, I don't know if I'm lowballing myself. I've been in several scenarios where when I do that, they already met my minimum. Now I'm about to play a game with them to see how much I can maximize my profits. So that's why that is important. These are some techniques where, and again I'm rushing because I know she's about to push me off the stage. These are some techniques that you need to be aware of when negotiating. This is applicable to not just your salary, but when you're dealing with contracts, terms and conditions, or other things related to anything like buying a car. People sometimes will create a sense of urgency to make you sign on a dotted line. If somebody is doing that, that is a super duper red flag. The only sense of urgency that is really out there is when it has already been determined that if you don't provide us an answer by this date, then it's off the table. But that's been in advance. If somebody comes to you on the same day and say, I need this today, if you don't sign on a dotted line, you can't have it, that's a red flag. So watch out for that. Intimidation tactics. Some people will try to intimidate you. You're asking about a counteroffer? Yes, I am. I'm very curious. I believe I have the skill sets and I believe we should talk about it. They will try to intimidate you to make it seem like you're saying something wrong. Do not fall for it. Lowering your chair. If you're physically in front of someone will actually lower your chair so that they can appear taller and over you. Is another form of intimidation. So be aware of it. Extreme temperatures in the room is another tactic people use in negotiations. If it's too hot or too cold, you really can't think properly, it throws you off. That's why before you even come in the room, you need to have your plan and strategy when it comes to, all right, I am getting the thing to wrap up, so let's move on to the next one. I'm gonna wrap up. Okay, so really quick, I talked about these 3 points. Personal branding, mastering your craft, negotiation techniques. These are just some of the items to thrive in corporate America. I challenge you to take these on. I challenge you to dig deeper into them. And I definitely challenge you to have a personal brand so you can set the tone of your actions in the workplace. But because we only scratched the surface, next slide please, this is what thriving in a corporate America looks like. These are some of the different areas you should be focusing on as you thrive in corporate America. I thank you for your time. I've enjoyed having this space with you. Thank you.
Oh yes, my home is teaching, so we